Ever wondered why good guys always seem to finish last? It's a question that has puzzled many for ages. Today, we're going to unravel this mystery and examine the common pitfalls good guys often stumble upon in relationships and life. From overcompensation to self-deprecation, from difficulty saying no to suppression of emotions, we'll dissect all these and more. We'll explore how these behaviors, although well-intended, can sometimes backfire. So let's delve into the top 10 mistakes good guys often make. The first mistake good guys make is overcompensating. It's a commendable trait, really, the willingness to go above and beyond for the ones they care about. But often this noble intention can lead to an imbalance. When the scales tip too far to one side, it can leave the good guy feeling depleted, undervalued, and underappreciated. It's the classic case of giving more than what you receive. While it's admirable to be selfless, it's equally important to remember that you too have needs that deserve attention. Overcompensation often stems from a place of wanting to prove oneself or to gain approval. But it's crucial to understand that love and respect cannot be earned through excessive sacrifice. The key here is balance. By all means, be generous, be kind, but not at the cost of your own well-being. Remember, it's essential to balance selflessness with self-care. Next up is self-deprecation. Good guys have a knack for putting others' needs before their own. It's like they have this inbuilt code of conduct that says, serve others first. Now, this might seem noble and selfless, and in many ways it is. But here's the catch. This tendency can often be perceived as a lack of self-confidence. It sends out signals that you're willing to sideline your own needs, your own ambitions, and your own happiness for the sake of others. And while it's great to be considerate, it's equally important to remember that you matter too. You have needs, you have aspirations, and you have a right to happiness. So the next time you find yourself pushing your needs to the back burner, take a moment. Pause. Reflect. Remember, it's important to prioritize your own needs too. The third mistake is having difficulty saying no. There's a common misconception that being nice means always agreeing, always accommodating. But this couldn't be further from the truth. Often, good guys find themselves in situations where they're overextended, stressed, and burnt out because they simply can't say no. They fear that setting boundaries will upset others, that they'll be seen as unkind or selfish. But here's the thing, saying no isn't about being selfish. It's about self-preservation. It's about understanding that you can't pour from an empty cup, that you can't be there for others if you're not there for yourself first. It's about recognizing that your time, your energy, your well-being are just as important as anyone else's. So the next time you find yourself struggling to say no, remember this. It's not selfish, it's self-care. Learning to say no is a crucial part of maintaining healthy relationships. Fourth on the list is suppression of emotions. Good guys, those genuinely kind-hearted souls, often find themselves locking their emotions away. They're afraid of burdening others or being perceived as weak, so they keep their feelings under wraps. But this emotional bottling can lead to misunderstandings. It's like a pressure cooker. Keep it sealed for too long, and it's bound to burst. Resentment can build, relationships can strain, and what could have been addressed in conversation becomes a silent wedge. It's vital to understand that expressing your feelings is a healthy part of human interaction. It's not a sign of weakness, but a testament to your bravery. It takes courage to be vulnerable, to show your true self to the world. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. Remember, expressing your feelings is not a sign of weakness. The fifth mistake is a lack of boundaries. Often, good guys find it challenging to set personal boundaries. In their quest to be accommodating and pleasant, they may overlook their own needs and wants. This kind of behavior, while seemingly selfless and commendable, exposes them to potential manipulation. People may take advantage of their generosity, kindness, and willingness to go the extra mile. This can lead to situations where they feel used, disrespected, or unappreciated. It's essential to remember that setting boundaries is not a sign of selfishness or unkindness. It is a way to communicate what is acceptable to you and what is not. It's about respecting your own space, time, and energy. It's about defining your limits and sticking to them. It's about understanding that you have a right to your feelings and thoughts, and you are not obliged to compromise them for anyone else. Setting boundaries is an important aspect of self-respect. Sixth on our list is avoidance of control. Many good guys shy away from taking control. This can be in a team project, a relationship, or even their own life decisions. This avoidance can come across as passiveness or even indecisiveness. But why is this a problem? Well, it's because when you avoid control, you allow others to dictate your actions, your feelings, and ultimately, your life's direction. You might think that by not taking control, you're being considerate or avoiding conflict. But there's a difference between being a team player and letting others steer your ship. Control doesn't equate to being domineering, it's about taking responsibility, making decisions that affect your life and standing by them. It's about realizing that you have the power to shape your own destiny. Taking control doesn't mean being domineering, it's about taking responsibility. The seventh mistake is fear of risks. Now, we're not talking about reckless behavior or dangerous stunts, but about those calculated risks that come with stepping out of our comfort zone. Good guys often have a fear of failure or rejection that keeps them from taking chances. They worry about the potential downsides, the what-ifs that could go wrong. And while it's sensible to consider the consequences, this fear often results in missed opportunities. They may pass up on a dream job, hesitate to ask someone out, or even avoid starting a project they're passionate about. But here's the thing, risks are a fundamental part of life. Taking calculated risks is how we learn, grow, and ultimately achieve our goals. So if you're trapped in the fear of taking risks, it's time to rethink. Remember, taking calculated risks is an essential part of growth. Eighth on the list is dwelling on the past. Good guys often find themselves caught in the web of past mistakes and regrets. It's like they're stuck in a time loop, replaying the same scenes over and over again. This constant replay can lead to feelings of guilt, shame, or even self-loathing. These feelings aren't just unpleasant. They can also be incredibly harmful. They can cloud your judgment, making it difficult to make decisions or move forward. They can drain your energy, leaving you feeling tired and unmotivated. And worst of all, they can make you feel unhappy and depressed. The key is to learn how to forgive yourself. Everyone makes mistakes. It's part of being human. It's important to remember that mistakes are opportunities to learn and grow, not reasons to punish yourself. Holding on to past mistakes doesn't change the past, but letting go can change the future. Letting go of the past is a crucial step towards happiness. The ninth mistake is a lack of self-love. They say, you can't pour from an empty cup. This adage rings especially true for the good guys who consistently place others before themselves. They often neglect to nourish their own souls, to appreciate their own worth, and to love themselves genuinely and unconditionally. This neglect can lead to low self-esteem, feelings of unworthiness, and even depression. It's a heavy burden to carry, and unfortunately, it's one that many good guys bear in silence. But here's the truth, friends. Self-love is not selfish, it's essential. It's the foundation of a healthy mind and a happy life. It's the fuel that drives personal growth and resilience. It's the light that guides you through the darkest times. So if you're a good guy who's been neglecting self-love, it's time to make a change. Start today. Start now. Remember, self-love is not selfish, it's essential. And finally, the 10th mistake is negative thinking. Good guys, just like any of us, can fall into the trap of nurturing negative thoughts about themselves and the world. This kind of thinking is like a dark cloud that hangs over their heads, casting shadows on their happiness and potential. They may question their worth, doubt their capabilities, and see the world through a lens of pessimism. This negativity can become a self-fulfilling prophecy, pushing away opportunities and making life seem more challenging than it really is. But the good news is, this is a habit that can be changed. By consciously choosing to replace negative thoughts with positive ones, they can significantly improve their outlook on life. This doesn't mean ignoring reality or avoiding difficulties, but rather seeing challenges as opportunities for growth and learning. Remember, optimism is a choice that can lead to a happier, more satisfying life. Switching to positive thinking can significantly improve your outlook on life. In conclusion, while being a good guy has many positive aspects, it's important to be aware of these common pitfalls. From overcompensating and self-deprecating to having difficulty saying no and suppressing emotions, not to mention the lack of boundaries, avoidance of control, fear of risks, dwelling on the past, lack of self-love, and negative thinking. These are all areas that can be improved upon for a healthier, more fulfilling life. Remember, it's all about balance. Be good, but don't forget to be good to yourself too.